Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the complexities of human experience and the grand tapestry of history. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of one of the most pivotal moments of the Second World War, the Battle of the Bulge. This epic struggle, which took place in the winter of 1944 and 1945, was a testament to human resilience, strategic brilliance, and the unforgiving nature of war. As we delve into the origins of this conflict, let us transport ourselves to the autumn of 1944, when the Allied forces had successfully landed in Normandy and were pushing deep into France. The rolling hills, verdant forests, and quaint villages of the French countryside gave way to the rugged terrain of the Ardennes region, a landscape that would soon become synonymous with bloodshed and bravery. It was here, amidst the dense forests and steep valleys, that the seeds of conflict were sown. In the months preceding the battle, the German army, under the command of Adolf Hitler, had been suffering a series of devastating losses on both the eastern and western fronts. The Soviet Union's relentless push into Poland and Germany had forced the Germans to divert troops from the west, leaving their defenses weakened and vulnerable to attack. Meanwhile, the Allies, buoyed by their success in Normandy, were poised to deliver the final blow. It was against this backdrop that Hitler, ever the strategist, conceived a plan to launch a surprise counterattack through the Ardennes region. The goal was to split the Allied forces, capture the strategic port city of Antwerp, and force the Allies to negotiate a peace treaty. The plan, codenamed Wacht am Rhein, was ambitious to say the least, but it was also a testament to Hitler's unwavering determination to turn the tide of the war. As the winter of 1944 approached, the German forces began to assemble in secret, hiding their troops and equipment in the dense forests and valleys of the Ardennes. The Allies, confident in their progress and unaware of the impending storm, were caught off guard by the sudden surge in German activity. The stage was set for a battle that would test the mettle of both sides and leave an indelible mark on the world. The Ardennes region, with its rugged terrain and harsh weather conditions, would prove to be a formidable battleground. The dense forests, which covered over 75% of the region, would limit visibility and hinder communication, while the rolling hills and steep valleys would funnel troops into kill zones and create opportunities for ambushes. The poor weather, with heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures, would further complicate the battle, making it difficult for troops to maneuver and for supplies to reach the front lines. Key figures such as General Dwight D. Eisenhower, General Omar Bradley, and Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery would play crucial roles in shaping the course of the battle. The German forces, led by Generals Gerd von Rundstedt and Joseph Dietrich, would stop at nothing to achieve their objectives, while the Allied forces, driven by a determination to bring an end to the war, would fight with every ounce of strength they possessed. As we conclude this segment on the origins of the Battle of the Bulge, we find ourselves poised on the cusp of a pivotal moment in history. The German forces, with their carefully laid plans and assembled army, are ready to launch a surprise attack that will shake the foundations of the Allied advance. The Allies, confident in their progress but unaware of the impending storm, are about to face one of the most brutal and intense battles of the war. Join me, dear listeners, as we venture deeper into the fray and uncover the complexities and triumphs of one of history's most enduring conflicts. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the complexities of human experience and the grand tapestry of history. As we left off in our previous segment, the stage was set for a pivotal moment in the Battle of the Bulge, with the German forces poised to launch a surprise counterattack through the Ardennes region. As the winter of 1944-1945 descended upon the battle-scarred landscape, the German army launched its assault on December 16, 1944. The attack caught the Allied forces off guard, and the initial thrust was successful in pushing deep into the American lines. However, the Germans soon encountered fierce resistance from the U.S. troops, who fought valiantly to hold their ground. One of the most notable battles during this period took place in the town of Bastogne, which was strategically located at the crossroads of several key roads and highways. The 101st Airborne Division, led by General Anthony McAuliffe, found themselves surrounded by German forces and facing a desperate siege. When asked to surrender, General McAuliffe famously replied with a single word, "Nuts!" This act of defiance would become a rallying cry for the Allied forces and a testament to their unwavering determination. As the battle raged on, the German forces made significant gains, pushing deep into the American lines and creating a bulge in the front. However, they were ultimately unable to achieve their objective of capturing Antwerp, due in large part to the bravery and resilience of the Allied troops. The U.S. Army's 3rd Armored Division, led by General Creighton Abrams, played a crucial role in blunting the German advance, while the British Royal Air Force and the U.S. Army Air Forces provided vital air support, pounding German positions with bombs and strafing runs. The harsh weather conditions also took their toll on both sides, with temperatures plummeting to below freezing and snowdrifts reaching as high as 10 feet in some areas. The dense forests of the Ardennes became a frozen landscape, where soldiers on both sides struggled to survive against the elements as much as against each other. As we explore this pivotal moment in history, it's clear that the Battle of the Bulge was a defining test of strength and strategy for both the Axis and Allied powers. The bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who fought in this battle will always be remembered, and their legacy continues to inspire us today. In the midst of this chaos and destruction, there were also moments of extraordinary courage and compassion. For example, on Christmas Day 1944, a group of American soldiers from the 101st Airborne Division shared what little food they had with a group of Belgian civilians who had been trapped in their homes during the battle. This small act of kindness, amidst the devastation and bloodshed, serves as a powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity for empathy and generosity. As we conclude this segment on the heart of the Battle of the Bulge, we find ourselves at a turning point in the conflict. The German forces have been unable to achieve their objectives, and the Allied troops are beginning to gain the upper hand. The battle is far from over, but the tide has begun to shift in favor of the Allies. Join me, dear listeners, as we continue our journey through this epic struggle and uncover the triumphs and tragedies that defined one of history's most enduring conflicts. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the complexities of human experience and the grand tapestry of history. As we left off in our previous segment, the tide of the Battle of the Bulge had begun to shift in favor of the Allies. As the German forces faltered, the Allied troops launched a counterattack on January 3, 1945, with the goal of pushing the Germans back and securing victory. The U.S. Third Army, led by General George S. Patton, played a crucial role in this effort, advancing rapidly through the snowy terrain and breaking through the German lines. Meanwhile, the British Royal Air Force and the U.S. Army Air Forces continued to provide vital air support, pounding German positions with bombs and strafing runs. One of the most significant battles during this period took place in the town of Houffalize, which was a key strategic location that controlled access to several major roads and highways. The U.S. 1st Infantry Division, led by General Clarence R. Hubner, fought bravely to capture the town, facing fierce resistance from German forces. After several days of intense fighting, the Americans finally secured Houffalize on January 16, 1945, marking a significant turning point in the battle. As the Allies continued to push forward, they encountered increasing numbers of German prisoners of war, many of whom were exhausted, hungry, and demoralized. The U.S. Army's policy was to treat these prisoners humanely, providing them with food, shelter, and medical care. In fact, many American soldiers went out of their way to show kindness and compassion to their former enemies, sharing what little they had and offering words of comfort. The Battle of the Bulge finally came to an end on January 25, 1945, when the Allies secured the last remaining pockets of German resistance in the Ardennes. The cost of the battle had been high. Over 19,000 American soldiers had been killed, and many more had been wounded or captured. However, the bravery and sacrifice of these soldiers had ultimately paid off, as the Germans were forced to retreat and regroup. In the aftermath of the battle, the Allies began to assess the damage and plan for the next phase of their advance. The U.S. Army's General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander of the European theater, praised the bravery and resilience of his troops, saying, "The Battle of the Bulge was one of the greatest battles of the war, and it will go down in history as a testament to the courage and determination of the American soldier." As we conclude this segment on the final stages of the Battle of the Bulge, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in the conflict. The Allies have secured a major victory, but the war is far from over. For now, let us take a moment to reflect on the significance of the Battle of the Bulge, a battle that tested the strength and resolve of both the Axis and Allied powers. The bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who fought in this battle will always be remembered, and their legacy continues to inspire us today. As General Anthony McAuliffe so famously said, "Nuts, a word that has become synonymous with American determination and courage in the face of overwhelming odds." That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.